All right, that's going to be annoying to keep hearing. Oh well. Let's take this front wheel off. There we go. All right. Then let's go ahead, get this back wheel off. That's going to be this way. Use the shifter. There we go. Let's get this back wheel off. Always like to put it in the highest gear so that it's easier to put the wheel back in when I remember to do that. All right, rear wheel is off. Let's move these to the side quickly. Check to make sure it hasn't dirtied my hands too badly. Way dirtier than you'd expect for just touching a wheel. Let's grab the lube for the wheels. We're chasing down a sound today, and we're going to use some TriFlow on a bunch of different areas of the wheels and see if that helps. There was one more thing I wanted to do. Yes, I wanted to duct tape that area of my handlebars where the grip tape has been damaged. Just a little dab will do ya. This shit sticks real bad too. Electrical tape. Okay, how bad is this? It's not that bad. Let's follow the pattern of the wrap. The cool thing about wrapping handlebars the right way is that as long as you do it the right way, you will actually always be tightening the wrap. I forget how to do it exactly. I wouldn't want to lead you astray, but it's like, I think it's like both sides are done clockwise, but that's worth a Google just to make sure. But if you did it the wrong way, for what it's worth, um, that would make it to where you were actively loosening it as you gripped it while writing. Okay, that feels good. That's one other thing off my to-do list, literally. Then let's grab the wheels and the lube. This episode is definitely brought to you by Zen, TriFlow, and Terrapin. Don't even get it fucked up. So let's take the dirty stuff out first, and then we'll come back and get the rest of the stuff in order. And we'll do this in an environment that is nice, instead of one that is dark and shitty. So, two things are good. I'm gonna need some sort of a rag or a paper towel. I think I'll opt for rag. Got these new rags from an old shirt. New rags from an old shirt. Now let's put these things over here. Then we'll make our way over here. And then we'll come down here. And then we'll put my beer here. And then we'll put this here. All right. So I've been chasing down this shitty sound for a while. And basically, like, what am I even talking about? Anytime I put like power down on the wheels, I feel a bit of a click and I hear a sound on the drive side of my bike. I don't know what it is. I've serviced the hubs. Today I kind of put a little bit of lubricant, a little bit of grease on like all the parts of the dropouts that touch the wheels. What else have I done? Did I say I serviced the hubs? Can't remember. Serviced the bottom bracket. I thought it could be in the headset. Serviced the headset, which is also a brand new headset. I could have installed it incorrectly, but I don't think I did. I've serviced everything that I can think of that could be making this sound, unless there's just like a crack or something, which doesn't seem likely. One thing I haven't done yet is to lubricate a couple of key areas on the wheel. This is pretty tedious and like laborious to do. Um, so I don't do it very regularly. But one thing you can do if you're getting some kind of noise is lubricate your spoke nipples where they go into the rim, and then also where they go into the hub, and then you can also lubricate with some, light tri-flow style lubricant. You can lubricate where the spokes actually cross. Sometimes you can get some shit in there that can make some noise. So, let's see. How do we want to do this? Let's try it a little something like that. Okay, so uh, I don't want to hold it like this because I don't want lubricant to drop onto the disc. So, uh, I guess, how is this? That looks pretty good. So, I'm going to start here by putting a drop of lube uh, where the spoke goes into the spoke nipple, and then it kind of drips down into the well. Yeah, I don't need more than one drop. It's already starting to get a little messy. And then it goes into, you want to make sure the spoke going into the spoke nipple, and then you want to make sure that a little bit goes into the hole where the spoke nipple goes into the rim, just in case there's some sort of fucking sound going on there. It's always something. And so, lucky me, I I built these wheels and I chose, well, I guess I got 32 spokes, so it's not as many as it could be. It could have been 36. But I built these wheels back in 2020. Was it 2020? No, I built them before that. I built a second set that was identical in 2020. But prior to that, in some undetermined year, I built these wheels up so that I could bike cross country. And this is actually a really good opportunity for me to also kind of inspect the rim to a degree that I don't typically find myself doing it, um, for just cracks and stuff like that. There is an area on here that got pretty damaged one time um, when I was biking the Transamerica bike route, which is a nice segue back to the original story, which was that I built these wheels kind of in preparation for the Transamerica bike route. Oh my God, I'm only halfway done. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. I went to a bike school in 2015 in Portland, Oregon, and they taught us how to build wheels as part of the course. And they sold this book that was like really awesome. Um, I've used it, thankfully, like it's a book that includes both like visual and text instructions about how to build wheel sets. And thankfully, the uh, the type I learned on and the type the book actually discusses is the type of wheel set that I have, namely a 32 spoke 3-point cross style of wheel. Um, and these have just been really solid the entire time I've had them. Uh, and I think I've only broken a few spokes. I built like identical pair for my travel partner, Allie. She accompanied me cross country on the bike ride, and I don't think she has had very many spokes break either, if any. But who knows? The bike might be in very different shape these days. I haven't seen it in a long time, and it ended up moving to Colorado, where the roads can be salted and otherwise not accommodating. God, I feel like I'm gonna fucking pass out. To steel bikes and their components. So I have now finished going around all of those spoke nipples, which was, oh my God, just as bad as I remember it ever being. And now I'm going to go to the cross section and put just a dollop of lube in between anywhere where they meet. And then I'm going to give them a little, like, you know, uh, a pull or like a little squeeze to make them kind of dance back and forth so that little bit of lubrication uh, spreads out in the area that I want to have impacted by this application. And, you know, as you see me now, it's good to tilt your wheel a little bit so that you don't get grease or oil on your rotor again. Um, so one thing that we definitely want to do is clean off the excess. And I guess, God, I still have more to do. All right. Again, in an effort to not get any lubrication on the brake surface, the rotor surface, go through it real quick and just get all the excess off. And since we're on a roll, let's just go ahead and get it off the spoke nipple area too. And the fun's not done yet. Still got quite a few areas to go. I guess it's a good thing to note here that you can, I always use my valve where you fill the tire with air as a point of reference when I do something like this, so I don't forget where I started and where I am in the process. Okay, so now I need to apply some lube to the hub where the actual spokes go into the hub. This is a little bit more of a dangerous application because there's certainly more of a chance of getting it onto the rotor, so you're going to want to be careful. Let's see if I can even do it. All right, that's good. It's nice. There's like some capillary action or something. Uh, the oil seems to like naturally want to go into the crevices between the metals. So it's kind of no fuss, no muss, as long as you just put a little drop, it'll spread out. Let's see if we can get this to go. All right, and here, there's no need for a point of reference because you can just kind of easily see where you have and where you have not applied the lube based on the pattern. It's probably a good idea in any case before putting this back on the bike to just get a paper towel and I think if I want to put this on the back side, I might as well. Why not? If you're not thorough and you don't examine all the possibilities, then that means that you didn't really troubleshoot it very well. But yeah, I think I'll hit the rotor with some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel before, just as a preventative. This is messy work, but somebody's got to do it. Basically, I'm just like looking for any area where there's like a metal to metal interface and just trying to apply a little bit of lube, just in case that's the source of the creak. And again, if you're not thorough and exhaustive of all the possibilities, then you might as well not do it. So this is a labor of love. God, this is so annoying. But again, it's a good opportunity to look at parts of your bike that you might not often look at. Give them a little bit of love, while you're in this area. You can clean your hub so it's nice and shiny, or at least just not so dirty. So I'll take the opportunity to kind of do that. I kind of did it recently, so it doesn't really need it. Okay, now I got to do the cross section on this side, and I mean honestly, I'm not going to take the cassette off yet. I think I can manage to apply the oil where I need it without having to resort to anything barbaric. So now the cross section of the drive side, a little drip of oil at every point of intersection. I'm gonna need another sip of beer after this. This is upsetting. Okay, is that all of them? Yes. Okay. A little squeeze so that there's no more friction. You can feel like an initial point of friction when you do this, and as soon as that goes away, you're good to go. Let's get the excess off. Excess will attract dirt and grime and cause more noises most likely. So, okay, all the cross sections are done. Now, let's go on the back side of the hub and try to do this methodically. Again, we're gonna be getting a lot of oil here. Well, the backside is definitely going to be well lubricated, that's for sure. But again, exhaustive. We want to be exhaustive here. We're being driven crazy. So let's take the time to do the needful and make sure that we're getting all the spots that could be the issue. I mean, it seems very unlikely that this is actually the problem, but for what it's worth, my bike is like brand new. I mean, the bottom bracket's not new. I could need a new bottom bracket. Let's see, is that all good? I think that's pretty much all good. But as new as the bike is, like, and some of these older components that I put on it, it seems like they could be the source of the issue, but it's really hard to say. Chasing noises is a maddening game, and AI is just not quite good enough yet. I would love for AI to be able to, like, if it knew my exact bike composition, I would think that like it knew how much each part of the bike weighed, what it's like. I should clean this cassette while I'm doing all this shit. If it knew how much everything weighed, what the density of it is, and it heard a sound, I would think that it would be like possible for it to be able to determine where that sound most likely came from, just based on the frequency of the noise, because like only certain parts of a bike would be able to create that exact sound. Oh, okay. So is this wheel done? Yeah, but do I want to clean the cassette? Yeah, it's a little messy. I have a really good tool for this. Um, I used to have one, and then I don't know, lost it or it got dirty, too dirty. I don't even know. You guys, why the bike fell over? Because it was too tired. Um, so this is my little cleaner tool. It's cool because this part fits in between the teeth of the cassette, and yeah, I guess you probably can't see that. Let's do it. I don't like putting my tires. I don't like touching my tires because like I see exactly the stuff that they touch, and I'm always trying to avoid it. But there's just a point where it comes sometimes down to a safety thing. It's just like I don't. It's not safe for me to avoid this like dead possum because there's someone too close to me. So I just have to like you know do the lesser of two evils. I don't want to lose my spot. Come on, what are you doing? Why are you making this hard? This is pretty dirty, this cassette. I certainly don't do this very often. I have a little bit considered waxing my chain. I don't know if it's worth it, you know, carrying all that shit around. I'm a kind of like a diehard practicalist. What do they call that? Pragmatist. Um, so like I would never want to get used to having my chain waxed and then having to go to like back to old school uh, chain management with like oil and grease and shit. Because then I would be like, this sucks. Speaking of this sucks, this kind of sucks. A lot of this sucks. This is like, what the fuck? Oh my god. Okay. This is crazy. Oh my god. This is like where the spider of the cassette is. It's like really fighting me here. Uh, okay. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Oh my god. It's like a little bit cleaner. Whatever. Okay, this wheel's done. Uh, I don't know if this will be easier or faster. Maybe a little bit easier. Hmm. Don't forget, title sponsor. Um, okay, done with that tool. Let's move on to the second wheel. So this wheel, the disc on this one, rather than having the six bolt pattern, has the Shimano lock ring style, which I really don't like, but it's what my hub has to have. So I don't remember why I opted for this, and I do have a converter, but that thing kind of sucks too. Everything sucks. So let's get to work. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Where do we start? Let's do the spoke nipples since that's so fucking annoying. All right. Starting with the valve as a reference and making our way around. 32 spokes. It's certainly possible. I mean, I think about when I hear the sound and what actually like causes it to happen. I kind of, I'm always thinking when I'm on my bike, and I'm like, okay, I know that it's like a torsion thing. It's like my bike is kind of twisting and bending when I put like this specific type of power into it, and so it's like it's something like hitting something else and then going back. Uh, when I left work a couple hours ago, I found that my front derailleur uh, anchor bolt was like touching my like the back part of it, the back part of the bolt, where the threads are. It was touching my fender, my rear fender, at a place, at a point, and I was like, it could be rubbing against that, and wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, I have an Occam's razor tattoo, and I was like, okay, this is like something definitely worth testing and addressing. And I always carry a little bit of a tire with me, like just I don't know, like a 4x4, or maybe like a 4x3 rectangle, actually. I was gonna say square, but it's not a square. And I keep that as a tire boot in case I ever get like a big slash in my tire. So I can like tape it to the inside of my tire and probably limp to the next area that has tires. Um, but I took a little piece of that and then I put it in between where the bolt was contacting the fender, created like a little, like a rug, basically, a sound dampening rug. And I was excited to test it. And then as soon as I did, the sound was still there. And I was like, okay, well, that's fair enough. And so uh, I decided that I should do this, which I've done in the past when I've been chasing down sounds. And did I put any on that one? That looks a little dry. Let's just make sure. Um, and what am I even talking about? Yeah, that wasn't the issue. It wasn't the bolt. Um, so I had to return to the drawing board, which is where I currently am. Uh, and I'm definitely gonna want to hit this one with some rubbing alcohol. And by this one, I mean this rotor as well. All right, so all the nipples are taken care of. You can always count on me for that. And let's go ahead and